Welcome to my channel, Real English Fluency. Today I'm going to tell you something that can change your English forever. Many people are afraid to talk to others in English because they think they are not ready. But the truth is, you will never be ready if you keep waiting. In this video, I will show you step by step how to talk to people in English. Even if your English is not perfect, by the end you will feel confident, ready, and excited to speak. So stay with me till the end, because one small thing you hear today might change your English life. Chapter 1 is about the fear that stops you. When you think about talking to someone in English, what happens inside you? Maybe your heart beats faster, your hands feel cold, your mind suddenly becomes empty. You forget the words you know. You imagine the other person looking at you, waiting, and you cannot speak. This fear is real, and you're not alone. Millions of English learners feel the same every single day. I know because I felt it too. I remember my first time trying to talk to someone in English. I had practiced in my room for weeks. I thought I was ready, but when a moment came, my mouth was dry. My brain said, "Don't speak. You will make a mistake. They will laugh." So I stayed quiet. I walked away and I felt terrible. I had missed my chance. That day I promised myself something. I promised I would never let fear control me again. Fear is powerful, but it is not stronger than you. Fear is just a signal from your brain. It is trying to protect you from feeling embarrassed. But here is the truth. You cannot learn to talk in English if you never talk. Waiting until your English is perfect is like waiting for a train that will never come. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is. Think about a small child. They do not wait to learn every grammar rule before speaking. They use what they know. They make mistakes. They laugh. They keep trying. And one day, without even realizing it, they can speak. You can do the same. Your English does not have to be perfect. It just has to be alive. And the only way to make it alive is to use it with real people. When you speak, even with mistakes, something amazing happens inside your brain. You create strong connections between words and feelings. You remember faster, you think quicker. You start to hear English in your head before you speak. This is how confidence grows, not from studying alone, but from using your English in real life. I know what you might be thinking right now. What if I make a big mistake? Let me tell you something. You will. I have. Everyone has. And that is okay. Mistakes are not signs that you are bad at English. Mistakes are signs that you are learning. Each mistake is like a brick that builds your skill. The more bricks you have, the stronger your English becomes. The biggest danger is not mistakes. The biggest danger is silence. If you stay silent, nothing changes. Your English stays in your head like a bird in a cage. It wants to fly. It wants to explore. You have to open the door. Speaking is the key, and you have that key right now. The first step is not about big conversations. It is about taking one small action today. Maybe it is saying good morning to a classmate. Maybe it is asking a shop worker, "How much is this?" Maybe it is replying to a comment in English online. Each small step is a victory. Each victory kills a little bit of fear. I want you to see fear in a new way. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a sign that you are about to grow. If you never feel fear, it means you are staying in your comfort zone and nothing great grows there. Every time you speak English when you feel afraid, you win twice. You win against fear and you win for your English. So today, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Promise that you will not wait until you're perfect. Promise that you will use your English now, even if your voice shakes, even if you forget words, even if you are scared. Because the moment you speak, the fear becomes smaller and your dream becomes bigger. In the next chapter, I will show you how to start small and simple so you can talk to people without feeling overwhelmed. But for now, remember this. The only thing standing between you and confident English is the fear you allow to stay. Take the first step. Speak and see how far you can go. Chapter 2 is about starting small and simple. When you think about talking in English, you might imagine a big conversation, many sentences, many questions, many answers. And maybe that picture makes you feel nervous. You think, I can't do that yet. That is why you need to start small. Starting small makes everything easier. You do not need to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to take one step. In English, that first step is a short and simple sentence. It can be hello. It can be how are you. It can be nice to meet you. These sentences are small, but they are powerful. They open the door to a conversation. When I first started speaking, I did not try to explain my whole life. I chose one sentence. I practiced it every day. I said it to myself in the mirror. I whispered it while walking. I repeated it before sleeping. Then one day I used it with a real person and they smiled. They answered. In that moment, I felt strong. Small sentences help you focus. You do not need to think about big grammar rules. You do not need to remember many new words. You just use what you already know. This makes your brain feel safe. And when your brain feels safe, your words come out more easily. Imagine you are in a shop. You see something you want to buy. Instead of staying quiet, you can say, "How much is this?" That is it. One short question, but it is a real conversation. You spoke, they answered, and you understood. That is success. Many learners think small sentences are not enough. They believe they must speak long sentences to be good at English. But the truth is the best speakers know how to say big ideas in small words. Simple English is powerful, is clear, it is easy to understand. People will enjoy talking to you more when your sentences are simple. Starting simple also gives you control. If you speak too much too soon, you may feel lost. You may forget what you wanted to say. But when you use short sentences, you can think between each one. You can listen to the other person. You can prepare your next sentence calmly. One of my favorite exercises is this. Choose 5 short sentences and use them all in one day. They could be greetings, questions, or small comments. For example, good morning. How are you? This is nice. Where's the bus stop? See you later. When you use these sentences, you're not just speaking. You're training your brain to speak naturally. Every small conversation you have is like a seed you plant. You may not see the result right away, but over time, those seeds grow into big trees of confidence. One day you will realize you can speak for minutes without thinking. But it all starts at these small, simple moments. So today, choose one sentence, just one. Use it with someone. Feel the success. Tomorrow, choose another. Slowly, you will build your English like building a house, brick by brick. Small steps are not slow. Small steps are smart, and they always take you forward. In the next chapter, I will show you how listening first can make speaking much easier and more natural. But remember this, a small start is still a start, and a start is all you need right now. Chapter 3 is about listening before you speak. Many people think speaking English means talking a lot, but the secret is this: good speakers are also good listeners. When you listen first, you give yourself time to think. You hear how words are used. You understand the topic. And when it is your turn, your words come out more easily. I learned this the hard way. In my early days, I wanted to speak fast so people would think my English was good. I rushed. I answered quickly without really listening. I made mistakes. Sometimes my answers did not match the question. People looked confused, and I felt embarrassed. That is when I realized listening is not a waste of time. It is the best preparation. When you listen carefully, you're not just hearing sounds, you are learning. You hear the grammar in action. You hear the pronunciation. You hear which words sound natural. This is free learning happening in real time in the middle of a conversation. Listening also helps you stay calm. If you feel nervous, let the other person talk first. Focus on their words. This gives your brain a chance to relax. While they speak, you can think about your answer. You can plan your sentence. You can remember the words you want to use. One simple trick is to repeat part of what the other person says before answering. If someone says, "The weather is nice today," you can answer, "Yes, the weather is nice," and then add your own thought like, "I like sunny days." This way, you're speaking without pressure and the other person feels you're listening to them. You can practice listening every day, even without a partner. Watch a short video in English and try to understand the main idea. Listen to an English song and catch a few words. Hear an English sentence and repeat it in your head. This makes listening a habit. And when listening is easy, speaking becomes easier too. Sometimes learners are afraid to ask, "Can you say that again?" But asking is better than pretending you understand. People are usually happy to repeat or explain. This also gives you more time to prepare your answer. Remember, conversations are not a race. They are about connection. One day I was in a cafe and someone asked me a question. I did not understand at first. Instead of guessing, I smiled and said, "Sorry, can you say it again slowly?" They did. I understood. I answered and we had a nice chat. That one moment taught me something important. Listening with patience is a sign of confidence, not weakness. So in your next conversation, try this. Let the other person speak first. Listen carefully. Pick one or two words they use and include those words in your answer. You will sound natural, you will feel confident, and the conversation will flow. In the next chapter, I will show you how to use only the words you already know to start and enjoy real conversations. But remember this for now. Speaking well begins with listening well. Every word you hear is another tool in your English toolbox. Keep listening, and your speaking will grow faster than you think. Chapter 4 is about using what you know. Many English learners think they must learn hundreds of new words before they can talk to people. They keep waiting, they keep studying, they keep collecting more and more words. But they do not use them. And in the end, they still feel shy. I want to tell you something very important. You do not need a big vocabulary to start speaking. You can start right now with the words you already know. While I was learning English, I made this mistake too. I bought big dictionaries. I wrote long lists of new words. But when I met a real person, I could not speak. My mind became blank. I forgot even the easy words. Then one day, a teacher told me, "Stop trying to remember every word. Use the ones you know already." That advice changed my life. The truth is, you already know enough to start a conversation. Maybe you know how to say hello. How are you? I like this. Where's the bus stop? Thank you. And see you later. That is already the beginning of many real conversations. You do not need to wait until your vocabulary is perfect. People can understand you with simple words if you use them clearly. Think about children. They speak with the few words they know. They do not worry about sounding smart. They just talk. And people understand them because they use those words with confidence. You can do the same. Your English does not have to be big. It just has to be alive. When you use the words you know, you feel less stress. Your brain is not busy searching for difficult vocabulary. You can focus on speaking clearly. You can focus on the other person. You can focus on enjoying the conversation. This is how confidence grows. I remember a day when I had to speak English to a tourist. My vocabulary was very small. I could have stayed silent, but I decided to try. I used only the words I already knew. I said, "Hello, welcome. You need help?" They smiled and said yes. We talked for 2 minutes. I understood them. They understood me. I felt proud. That small moment gave me courage to speak again the next day. The most important thing is to keep your sentences simple. Instead of trying to say, "I would like to inquire about the price of this product," you could say, "How much is this?" Instead of saying, "I am uncertain about the exact location of the station," you can say, "Where is the station?" Both are correct, but the simple one is faster and easier for you. Here is a powerful tip. Take the words you know and make different sentences with them. If you know the word book, you can say, "I have a book. This book is good. I like this book. Where's my book?" With just one word, you can make many sentences. This is how you get better without learning hundreds of new words at once. You can also combine the words you know to talk about your life. Use them to describe your day. I wake up. I eat breakfast. I go to school. I study English. These are simple, but they are real English. They tell your story, and they make people want to know more. Another trick is to reuse the same sentences in different places. If you practice saying, "How are you?" with a friend, you can use it with your neighbor, a shop worker, or a new classmate. Each time you repeat it, you feel more comfortable. Soon, you will say it without thinking. Do not be afraid of repeating yourself. Repetition is not boring when you're learning a language. Repetition is your best friend. Every time you repeat, you make your speaking muscles stronger, you make your memory sharper, you make your English more natural. I know you want to speak well. I know you want to impress people. But remember, the goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to connect. Even with small words, you can make someone smile, you can share an idea, you can ask a question, you can be part of a conversation. That is the real success. So today, I wanted to look at the English words you already know. Choose 5 of them. Make simple sentences with them. Say them out loud. Use them with someone. Do not wait for more vocabulary. Use what you have now. Because every time you speak, you are not just practicing English. You are building the courage to speak more tomorrow. In the next chapter, I will show you how repeating what you say can make your English stronger and more natural. But remember this, you already have the tools to start speaking. The only question is, will you use them today? Chapter 5 is about repeating to remember. When you hear something only once, it is easy to forget. But when you hear it again and again, it stays in your mind. This is the power of repetition. If you want to speak English well, you must repeat. Not just once, not just twice. You must repeat until the words become part of you. I remember when I learned my first English question. It was, "What is your name?" At first, I had to think before saying it. The words came out slowly. I was afraid I might say it wrong. But I repeated it many times every day. I said it to myself in the mirror. I whispered it while walking to school. I said it before sleeping. After 1 week, I did not need to think anymore. It came out naturally like breathing. Repetition is not boring. When you know its purpose, every time you repeat, you make your brain stronger. You create a road in your memory. The more you walk on that road, the smoother it becomes. Soon you can travel on it without thinking. That is how speaking English becomes easy. Think about a song you like. You listen to it many times. After a while, you know the words without trying to remember them. This happens because your brain loves patterns. Your brain remembers what it sees and hears often. This is why repeating sentences is so powerful for learning a language. When you repeat, do it with energy. Do not just say the words. Feel them. Use your voice. Use your body. Smile when you say happy sentences. Use a serious tone when you say serious sentences. This will help you remember faster because your emotions are connected to the words. You can make repetition part of your daily life. Choose one sentence in the morning and use it 5 times during the day. For example, if your sentence is, "How was your day?" say to your friend, your teacher, your neighbor, and even to yourself in the mirror. The more you use it, the more natural it feels. Do not worry if you feel silly repeating the same sentence. You are training your brain like an athlete trains their muscles. Athletes do the same exercise again and again until it becomes perfect. You are doing the same with your English. Repetition also helps you speak faster. At first, you may take time to remember the words, but after many repetitions, the words come without delay. This is how you start thinking in English. You're no longer translating from your language. You're just speaking. I remember a time when I wanted to say, "I'm learning English," in a conversation. I practiced it 10 times before meeting my friend. When I finally spoke, it came out smoothly. My friend smiled and asked more questions. I answered with confidence. That small success came from repetition. You can also repeat while listening. If you watch a short video in English, pause after each sentence and say it yourself. Copy the speaker's voice and rhythm. This is called shadowing, and it is one of the fastest ways to sound natural. Sometimes you will feel tired of repeating. That is normal. But remember why you are doing it. Every repetition is a step forward. Every step forward takes you closer to your goal of speaking English without fear. Make repetition fun. Turn it into a game. Challenge yourself to say the same sentence in 5 different places or say it in 5 different emotions. Laugh while you practice. Enjoy the process. When you enjoy it, you'll keep doing it. Do not just repeat words in your head. Speak them out loud. Your mouth needs practice too. Speaking out loud trains your tongue and lips to move in the right way for English sounds. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. So today, I want you to choose one sentence. Say it 10 times in the morning. Say it 10 times in the afternoon. Say it 10 times before you sleep. Tomorrow, choose another sentence and do the same. This is how you build strong English habits. In the next chapter, I will show you how smiling and using your body language can make your English even more powerful. But remember this, repetition is not just practice. It is the secret to making English part of who you are. And the more you repeat, the more you remember. The more you remember, the more confident you become. Chapter 6. The Power of Smiling and Body Language. When you speak English, it is not only your words that matter. Your face, your hands, your eyes, and the way you stand all speak too. This is called body language. And body language can make people feel comfortable and happy to talk to you. Even if your English is not perfect, one of the strongest tools you have is your smile. A smile can open a conversation faster than any sentence. When you smile, you send a message. You say, I am friendly. I am happy to talk to you. People feel safe with someone who smiles. They feel welcome, and they are more likely to answer you in a kind way. I still remember a day when my English was weak. I wanted to ask a stranger for directions. I was scared they would not understand me. But I smiled first. They smiled back. In that moment, I felt less nervous. I asked my question in simple English. They listened patiently and helped me. My smile had created trust before I even spoke. Body language is also about how you stand or sit. If your arms are crossed and your head is down, you look closed. People may think you do not want to talk. But if your shoulders are straight, your hands are open, and your eyes look at the person, you look confident and ready to connect. Eye contact is another important part of body language. You do not need to stare, but looking at someone while they speak shows you are listening. When you answer, keep your eyes on them for a few seconds. This makes your words feel more honest and warm. Your hands can also help you communicate. When you cannot find the exact word in English, you can use small hand movements to explain. For example, if you forget the word big, you can spread your hands apart. If you forget the word round, you could draw a circle in the air. These little actions can help people understand you without stopping the conversation. Your tone of voice is part of body language too. If you speak in a flat, quiet voice, people may think you're bored. But if your voice rises a little when you greet someone, they can hear your interest. You can make your words more alive by changing your tone, just like in your own language. Sometimes learners think body language is not important. They focus only on grammar and vocabulary. But imagine this. If you speak perfect English with no smile, no expression, and no energy, the other person might not enjoy the conversation. But if you speak simple English with a smile, friendly eyes, and warm gestures, they'll want to talk to you again. I practiced my body language in front of a mirror. I looked at my face when I said hello. I practiced smiling naturally. I practiced standing tall and relaxed. At first, it felt strange, but over time it became normal. Now I do it without thinking. Your body language also helps you feel more confident inside. When you stand tall, your brain feels stronger. When you smile, your brain feels happier. It is like you're giving yourself a secret boost of courage before speaking. You can practice this every day. When you greet someone, smile. When you ask a question, use a small hand movement. When you listen, nod your head to show you understand. When you answer, keep your eyes on the person for a moment. These small actions create big changes in how people respond to you. Remember, speaking English is not only about the words you say. is about the feeling you give. And that feeling comes from your smile, your eyes, your voice, and your posture. So next time you talk to someone, focus on two things. Use simple words and use strong, positive body language. This combination will make you a better communicator, even if your vocabulary is small. In the next chapter, I will show you how mistakes can become your best teacher. But for now, promise yourself this. No matter where you are, no matter who you talk to, you will bring your smile with you. Because sometimes, your smile speaks louder than your words. Chapter 7. Make mistakes your friend. Most English learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think if they say something wrong, people will laugh. They believe it will show they are not good enough. But here is the truth. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your teachers. When I started speaking English, I made many mistakes. I used the wrong words. I forgot to add S at the end of words. I mixed up tenses. Sometimes people understood me. Sometimes they did not. At first, I felt embarrassed and wanted to hide. But then I realized something powerful. Every mistake I made showed me what I needed to learn next. Without those mistakes, I would not improve. Think about how a baby learns to walk. They fall many times, but every fall makes them stronger. They learn balance. They learn how to move their feet. And one day, they can walk without falling. Speaking English is the same. You will fall. Sometimes you will say the wrong thing. But each time you try again, you get better. Mistakes are a sign of action. If you never make mistakes, it means you're not trying. You are staying silent, and silence does not teach you anything. Speaking, even with errors, teaches you much more than just studying. I remember once I told someone, I am boring, when I meant, I am bored. They laughed, but a kind way. They explained the difference, and I never forgot that lesson. If I'd been too afraid to speak, I would still be making that same mistake today. When you make a mistake, do not stop speaking. Keep going. Most people are not listening for perfect grammar. They are listening for your meaning. They want to understand you, not to judge you. And often, they will help you if they see you are trying. Some of my best learning moments came from mistakes. One time I mispronounced a word, and my friend repeated it the correct way. I practiced it and said it right the next time. Another time I used the wrong verb form, and my teacher wrote the correct one for me. Each mistake became a lesson I could remember. The key is to change how you feel about mistakes. Do not see them as failure. See them as progress. Every mistake means you're speaking, and every time you speak, you are one step closer to fluency. You can even collect your mistakes. Write them in a notebook. Next to each one, write the correct way. Review them often. Soon you will notice you are making fewer and fewer of the same mistakes. This is proof that you are improving. Do not compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at a different speed. Some people make fewer mistakes, but maybe they speak less. Others speak a lot and make more mistakes, but they learn faster. The important thing is to keep speaking. I once met a man who spoke English with many errors, but he was full of confidence. People loved talking to him because he was friendly and never afraid to try. Over time, his English got better and his mistakes became fewer. Confidence and practice had done their work. You could do the same. Speak to your friends. Speak to strangers. Speak to yourself in the mirror. Every time you open your mouth, you're building skill. Do not wait for perfect English. Perfect English is not the goal. Communication is. Connection is. So today, make a decision. The next time you make a mistake, smile. Correct yourself if you can. Ask for help if you need it. Then move on. Treat mistakes like stepping stones on your path to better English. Mistakes are not a wall blocking your way. They're the bridge that takes you forward. Walk on them with courage, and you will reach your goal faster than you think. Chapter 8. Learn to ask questions. One of the easiest ways to start and keep a conversation in English is to ask questions. Questions show you're interested. They make the other person talk more, and when they talk more, you feel less pressure to speak a lot. Asking questions is not just for learning, it is for connecting. When I first started speaking English, I often did not know what to say next. I would answer a question and then stop. The conversation ended quickly. But when I learned to ask questions, everything changed. Even if my English was simple, the talk could go on for minutes. The other person did most of the speaking, and I learned from listening to their answers. Asking questions is powerful because it gives you control. You guide a topic. You can choose questions about things you understand. This way, you can follow the conversation without getting lost. And if you choose easy questions, you can relax and focus on listening. Start with the simplest question words. What? Where? When? Who? How? These small words can open big conversations. For example, what is your name? Where do you live? When's your birthday? Who is your favorite singer? How was your day? These are easy to remember and use in daily life. I remember one day in the park. I met someone who had a small dog. I did not know what else to say, so I asked, "What is your dog's name?" The person smiled and told me the name. Then they told me about the dog's age, its favorite food, and funny stories. All that from one simple question. When you ask questions, people feel important. They feel you care about their life and opinions. This makes them more open to talking with you. Again, you do not have to ask many questions at once. Just one good question can open a door to a long and friendly talk. You can prepare your questions before you meet someone. If you're in a class, think of 2 questions you can ask a classmate. If you're going to shop, prepare 1 question for the shop worker. If you're meeting a new friend, think of questions about their hobbies, family, or job. Make your questions short and clear. Long questions can be hard to understand, especially if you're still learning. For example, instead of saying, "Could you possibly explain to me what your job involves?" you can say, "What is your job?" The shorter the question, the easier it is for both of you. You can also use follow-up questions. This means asking another question about what the person just said. If someone says, "I went to the beach," you can ask, "Which beach?" or "Did you swim?" This shows you're listening and keeps the conversation alive. Do not be afraid to repeat questions you have used before. If you meet a new person, you can ask the same simple questions you asked others. You're not being boring. You are practicing, and each time you will say the question more confidently. Some people worry about asking too many questions. But remember, most people like talking about themselves. As long as you listen carefully and show interest, your questions will be welcome. And if they give a short answer, you can simply smile and ask another. One thing to remember is to ask questions with a friendly tone. Your voice should rise slightly at the end. This makes it clear that you are asking, not telling. A smile also makes your questions sound warmer. I once met a tourist who did not speak my language. We talked for 10 minutes in English, and almost everything I said was a question. We laughed, We shared stories and we understood each other. That conversation would never have happened without questions. So start today. Choose 3 easy questions and use them in real life. Ask your friend, your teacher, a shop worker, or even a stranger. Notice how the conversation grows. Notice how you feel more relaxed. Asking questions is not just about learning English. It is about building friendships and making real human connections. In the next chapter, I will show you how practicing with safe, kind people can make you braver to speak in bigger situations. Chapter 9. Practice with safe people. Speaking English can feel scary when you are worried about being judged. That is why it is so important to practice with safe people. Safe people are the ones who make you feel comfortable. They listen with patience. They do not laugh at your mistakes in a hurtful way. They encourage you to keep going. When I started learning, I did not speak to everyone. I first spoke to my best friend. She knew I was learning, and she never made me feel small. Even when I made big mistakes, she smiled and helped me. Practicing with her was fun, not stressful. And because I felt safe, I spoke more and more. Safe people can be family members, close friends, kind classmates, or language partners. They can even be strangers you meet online who are also learning. The important thing is that they create a space where you can try without fear. When you talk to safe people, you could take more risks. You could try new words. You can practice new grammar. You can speak for longer without worrying if everything is perfect. This is how your English grows. It is like planting seeds in soft soil. The seeds grow faster because the ground is gentle. I once joined a small English club. At first I was shy, but soon I saw that everyone was helping each other. No one laughed at mistakes. If someone forgot a word, another person suggested it kindly. We became friends, and I started looking forward to speaking. I left each meeting feeling stronger and happier. Safe people can also give you honest feedback in a kind way. They might say, "That was great," but you can say it like this too. "This helps you improve without feeling embarrassed." Honest feedback is a gift when it comes with respect. If you cannot find safe people in your daily life, look for them online. There are many language exchange websites and apps where learners help each other. You can choose someone who is also learning and agree to be patient with each other. Sometimes talking to another learner feels easier because you both understand the struggle. Another good idea is to set a time to speak with your safe person every week. This makes practice regular. The more often you speak, the less nervous you feel. Soon it will feel normal to have English conversations. When you practice with safe people, you can also role-play real situations. For example, pretend you are in a shop, at a bus stop, or meeting someone new. Take turns being the customer and the shop worker. Take turns asking and answering. This makes you ready for real life. Safe people also help you build confidence for bigger challenges. After speaking with them many times, you will feel ready to talk to strangers, teachers, or even in public events. It is like learning to swim in a small pool before going to the sea. One of my friends only practiced English with me for months. Then one day, she spoke to a tourist in our city. She came to me later and said, "I could do it because of all the times we practiced together." That moment showed me how powerful safe people can be in your journey. Remember, learning a language is not just about words. It is about trust. When you trust the person you're speaking with, you can relax. When you relax, your English comes out more naturally. So think about your life. Who are your safe people? Who makes you feel calm when you speak? Who smiles when you try? Start with them. Use them as your practice partners. Tell them your goal. Ask them to speak with you regularly. In the next chapter, I will show you how to take this confidence and use it to speak to strangers without fear. But for now, promise yourself you will not practice only in your head. Find safe people, speak with them, and watch your English grow in a place where you feel protected and supported. Chapter 10. Talking to Strangers Without Fear. For many English learners, talking to strangers feels like the biggest mountain to climb. Your heart beats faster. Your mind says, what if I say something wrong? What if they do not understand me? These thoughts are normal. But if you want to use your English in the real world, you must learn how to take that first step. The truth is, strangers are just people you have not met yet. They are not waiting to judge you. In fact, most strangers will forget about the small mistakes you make. What they will remember is your kindness, your smile, and your effort to speak. I remember my first time talking to a stranger in English. I was in a shop and needed to ask for something. My hands are cold and I almost walked away, but I decided to try. I took a deep breath, smiled, and said, "Excuse me, where's the bread?" The shop worker pointed and answered. That was it. Just a few seconds, but I felt like I had won a big victory. Talking to strangers starts with small, safe sentences. You do not need to start with long conversations. Begin with greetings. Say good morning to the bus driver. Say hello to someone at cafe. Ask a shop worker, do you have this in small size? These short moments train your brain to speak without overthinking. Your body language will help you. Stand straight. Make eye contact for a second and smile. These simple actions tell the other person you're friendly. They make the conversation warmer before it even begins. It is also helpful to prepare a few sentences before you go out. If you're in a shop, think of one question you can ask. If you are at a park, prepare a comment like, "It is a nice day." When you already have the words ready, you feel less nervous. Do not worry about perfect grammar. Strangers are not grammar teachers. They just don't understand you. If you forget a word, use another one or use your hand to explain. Communication is more important than perfection. One time I met a tourist who asked me for directions. I knew the way but forgot some words. So I used simple English and pointed in the right direction. The tourist smiled and said, "Thank you so much." That moment reminded me that even broken English can build a bridge between two people. The more you talk to strangers, the easier it becomes. At first, it might feel uncomfortable, but with each conversation, your fear becomes smaller. Soon, you will be able to start a short chat without thinking too much. You can also turn these short talks into learning opportunities. Listen to the words the other person uses. Try to repeat them in your mind. Later, practice them with a friend or by yourself. Every stranger you meet can be your free English teacher. If someone does not respond the way you hoped, do not let it stop you. Maybe they were busy, shy, or having a bad day. It is not about you. Smile, move on, and try again with someone else. Talking to strangers is not just about practicing English. It is about building confidence in life. Every time you speak to someone new, you prove to yourself that you can do it. This confidence will help you in school, at work, and in every new place you go. So here is your challenge. Tomorrow, talk to one stranger in English. It could be as simple as hello or asking small question. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. The moment you finish, you will feel proud, and that pride will make you want to do it again. In the next chapter, I will show you how to make speaking English a daily habit, so you can keep improving without even thinking about it. But for now, remember this. Every stranger you talk to is a door, and your words are the key. Chapter 11. Practice every day, anywhere. If you want to speak English well, you cannot wait for the perfect time. You cannot wait for a special class or a plan meeting. The truth is, every day is full of moments where you can practice. And the more you use these moments, the faster you will grow. When I first started learning, I thought I could only practice in my English lesson. I waited for my teacher to give me the chance to speak, but that meant I was only speaking a few minutes each week. Then I realized something. The world is my classroom. I can practice anywhere, anytime. Think about your day. You wake up. You get ready. You eat breakfast. You go out. Each part of your day has small chances to use English. When you are brushing your teeth, say in English, "I'm brushing my teeth." When you make tea, say, "I am making tea." When you look outside, describe the weather in English. These small sentences build your habit of thinking and speaking in English. You can also practice when you're outside. If you pass a shop, read the English words on signs and try to say them out loud. If you see a foreign brand, read it and think of a sentence with it. When you're in a market, say the names of fruits and vegetables in English. You're teaching your brain to connect English to the real world. Talking to people is another powerful way to practice daily. You do not have to wait for a big conversation. Greet your neighbor in English. Say thank you in English to a shop worker. Ask a bus driver, "Is this the right bus?" These small interactions may last only a few seconds, but they make a big difference over time. Technology can also help you practice every day. Change the language on your phone to English. This way, you see English words every time you use it. Use English when you search the internet. Listen to English songs or short podcasts while walking. Even 10 minutes a day will help you hear new words and get used to the sound of English. Some people say, "But I am too busy." You do not need an hour every day. Even 5 minutes is enough if you use it well. The secret is to make English a part of your normal life, not something separate. Just like you brush your teeth without thinking, you should speak or think in English without waiting for the right moment. I remember a time when I was traveling alone. I decided to speak only English for the whole day. Even in my head, I described everything I saw. I asked myself questions in English and answered them in English. By the end of the day, I was thinking faster and speaking more naturally. When you practice every day, you also keep your confidence alive. If you go many days without speaking, you start to feel nervous again. But if you speak a little every day, the fear disappears. Your mouth gets used to making English sounds. Your mind gets used to finding the right words. You can also make practice fun. Play games in English. Write a short daily diary about your day. Send a message to a friend in English. Watch a short video and tell someone what it was about. The more fun you make it, the more you want to keep going. Remember, every day is a chance to get better. You do not have to wait for tomorrow. You do not have to wait until your English is perfect. Start today. Start now. Even if you only say one sentence, you are still moving forward. In the next chapter, I will show you how all this practice can lead to something even more special. connecting with people on a deeper level through your words. But for now, promise yourself this. You will practice English every single day, no matter where you are or how busy you are, because every small moment you use is another step toward the confident speaker you want to be. Chapter 12. From Talking to Connecting. Speaking English is not just about using words. It is about using those words to connect with people. Anyone can talk, but not everyone can make another person feel understood, welcomed, and valued. That is the real power of communication. And when you learn to connect, your English becomes more than a skill. It becomes a bridge between hearts. When I first started speaking English, my goal was simple. I just wanted people to understand me. I focused on words and grammar, but something was missing. Then one day, I had a conversation with a traveler in my city. We spoke for only 10 minutes. My English was not perfect, but we laughed, we shared stories, and when we said goodbye, they said it was so nice talking to you. That moment taught me something. Communication is not about perfection. It is about connection. When you connect with someone, you go beyond basic questions and answers. You listen carefully. You show interest in their life. You share your own stories. You make them feel they're talking to a real person, not just the student practicing English. Connection starts with listening. When you really listen, you hear more than words. You hear feelings. If someone says, "I am tired," you can reply, "You must have had a long day." This shows you understand. It makes the conversation deeper and warmer. Another way to connect is to share something personal. It does not have to be big. It could be as simple as, "I love coffee too," or "I also enjoy walking in the park." These small moments create a bond. The other person feels closer to you because they see you share something in common. Your tone of voice and your body language also help you connect. Speak with warmth. Use a smile to make your words feel friendly. Look at the person when they speak to show you care. These actions can say more than any vocabulary word. Do not be afraid to show emotions when you speak. If you're excited, let your voice show it. If you are curious, let your face show interest. People remember how you make them feel. If you make them feel good, they will remember you, even if your English has mistakes. I have met people with very simple English, but they connect with everyone they meet. Why? Because they care. They ask about you. They listen. They remember what you said before. They make you feel important. This is the kind of speaker you should aim to be. When you focus on connection, speaking English becomes more enjoyable. You stop worrying about every little error. You start thinking about the person in front of you. You speak with more confidence because you know the goal is not perfection, it is understanding. You can practice this starting today. The next time you talk to someone, try to make them smile. Ask them a question that shows you care. Share a small story from your life. Notice their reaction. You will see how quickly a simple talk becomes something special. Connecting with people also opens more doors in life. You can make friends in new countries. You can build work relationships. You can learn about different cultures. You can see the world through someone else's eyes. And it all starts with a simple conversation. Remember, English is not just a language. It is a tool. It is a way to make your world bigger. Every person you talk to is a new chance to learn, to share, and to grow. So as you move forward, do not just aim to talk. Aim to connect. Make every conversation more than just words. Make it a moment that you and the other person will remember. And if you take only one thing from all these chapters, let it be this. Your English does not have to be perfect to be powerful. It just has to be real. Speak with honesty. Speak with kindness. Speak with the goal of connecting. When you do that, your words will always matter. If you have watched all the way to this point, it means you're serious about improving your English. You are ready to speak, to practice, and to grow. I want you to remember something very important. Every conversation you have from today is a step forward. Every mistake you make is a lesson. Every smile you share is a connection. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for perfect English. Start now. Use the words you know. Ask simple questions. Listen with care. Speak with confidence. You already have what you need to begin. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know that one day you will look back and be proud that you started today. So, here's my challenge this week. Talk to at least one new person in English. It can be short, it can be simple, but make it real. If this video gave you even one useful idea, then take the next step. Like this video, so more learners can find it. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss new lessons and motivation. Comment below with the first English sentence you will use today. Your English journey is not just about learning words. It is about building a life full of new friends, new experiences, and new opportunities. And I will be here to guide you every step of the way. So go out there, speak, connect, and let the world hear your voice.